Decolonization and Independence. 2 decades after the Second World War, many colonies in Asia and Africa emerged as independent nations. Years of exploitation by colonial governments had drained them of their natural and economic resources. The IMF and the World Bank, established to meet the financial needs of the industrial countries, could not cope with the challenges faced by the former colonies. In the late 1950s, the Bretton Woods institutions focused on developing countries. Unfortunately, the newly independent nations had to seek guidance from the international agencies dominated by former colonial powers, who still wielded control over resources of their former colonies. They evade exploitation. The developing nations formed the Group of 77 or G77 and demanded a new International Economic Order (NIEO) for developmental assistance and economic promotion. End of Bretton Woods and beginning of globalization. From 1960s, unprofitable overseas involvements diminished the US's finances and competitive strength. The value of US dollar weakened against gold. Thus, the system of fixed exchange rates was replaced by the system of floating exchange rates. Mid-1970s onwards, the developing countries who could obtain loans or developmental assistance from the international institutions were directed to borrow from the Western commercial banks and private lending institutions. It caused increased debt crisis, lower incomes, and immense poverty in Africa and Latin America. In mid-1970s, the MNCs moved production operations to low-wages Asian countries. It impacted world trade and capital flow. In the last 2 decades, countries like India, China, and Brazil have transformed into stronger economies.
For more such videos on all subjects, practice questions, and a lot more, download iPrep and learn unlimited.